Greetings everyone, this is InfinityBeard aka TJ and Masbell, and today we're going to be dishing out our review for the instant classic Batman Arkham Origins for the PC, Xbox 360, PS3, and Wii U. This game is a daunting return to the franchise, telling the origin of the Joker and the rise of the Dark Knight, as well as setting up the transition into the previously two released games, Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. Although this game is done by Warner Bros. Interactive and not Rocksteady as the previous games were, this game plays like a graphic novel and returns all the key elements that made the previous games so addicting. Whether you are doing detective work, navigating through vents, or just beating down baddies, this game has a lot to offer and will surely keep you begging for more.
Anyone want a piece?
We're going to cover the pros, the cons in this quick review, as well as give our final rating for the game before closing out, so sit tight and enjoy the ride.
This was my personal favorite. Reminds me of my childhood.
For the pros, I'm going to start, Masbell jump in a minute. This game has a fantastic and rich story. We were both, although it was a little short, we're going to get that into the cons. It is everything that you would want from a graphic novel style retelling of Batman's early Caped Crusader career as the Dark Knight. One thing to note, this game is not done by Rocksteady, who did the previous two games, Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. It is done by Warner Bros., and some of the main cast particularly was replaced, such as Mark Hamill. He was dropped and replaced by the Joker, replaced by Troy Baker as the Joker. Batman is played by Craig Smith and not Kevin Conroy, as was in the previous games, and that was a little deterring for both of us that it was done by a new developer and that it was having a whole new set of cast. But we both believe that they did a really good job. It plays like the previous games. It feels as if Rocksteady had done it, and Troy Baker and Craig Smith did they did a great job playing a younger Bruce Wayne, playing a younger Batman, and playing a younger Joker.
It was pleasantly surprising. It was pleasantly remarkable to see what they could do, given that they dropped almost everything basically from the originals, and how true it still stayed in terms of gameplay and story.
Yeah. Mechanics are back from the previous games. Same combat system that you know and love from the previous games. Little tweaks in here, but how you get into vents, so you pull down the vents, hop in them, how you kind of maneuver across water, all that's back from Arkham City. Previous games, you'll feel right at home.
You know, the same beatdowns, same counters, the same kind of stuns.
Lots of beatdowns. Smack.
Another thing that was just, it was so cool. Just all that you could explore, just how vast the game was. I mean, I like the fact that each game is just bigger and bigger, and the more stuff that you can go and check out, even things that are just directly tied into the plot, the gameplay, the story, and then just little things here and there, going from Arkham City, where I'm guessing everyone's played Arkham City by now, but where the Joker finally dies, the actual theater, the Monarch, which is actually right in front of the crime alley where Bruce Wayne's parents died. In each game that for Arkham City and Arkham Origins, they actually include that, and it's really great just to go and check out, and all the really cool nostalgic, it's these little things that just make the game pop like that.
Yeah, particularly, I'll also know a couple things for me was the graphic novel kind of
style.
Yeah, because especially how they have Batman and he's got that he's almost a silhouette, and he's got the moon behind him. Just a lot of stuff, little bits and tid pieces here and there. Like when he was talking to Gordon on the bridge after the conflict with Firefly, how Gordon says something and he looks back and then Batman's no longer on the perch, he's gone. A lot of stuff that plays into the lore specifically too, like the origin of the Joker. That's a big theme in this game.
Nobody knows how I came around.
They have a lot of stuff that tell that kind of story and kind of shape who Batman is a lot more. There's some conflict between him and Alfred. You kind of see him emerge as Batman.
You see a very young Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
You see a very reckless Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And you really kind of, you feel how they do a very good job making you kind of relate to Bruce Wayne, how he feels, the decisions that he makes, the decisions that you make in the game
that affect those around you too.
Exactly.
And you also see his because the Batman is pretty much a rumor, and the Joker doesn't exist at the beginning of the game. And towards the end of the game,
Batman doesn't know who the Joker is. He discovers who the Joker is midway.
And you see his, him start to get notoriety. I think even Alfred talked about. Some people were saying he was a hero, and Batman was like, "I'm not doing it for that," and stuff like that. And also you see his relationship develop with Gordon, who they both don't trust each other. Yeah, the police department had nothing to do with Batman.
The police department's crooked.
Yeah, but you start to see a lot of those foundations being laid, and it was great to kind of see that from a a point of view of a fan, to kind of see it be built up.
Beautiful.
The score also was akin to movie scores. It was it really does. The score sounds just like it was made for a Batman blockbuster. All right, so I mean, overall, for all the pros, it is a great game. It's very solid. If you like the previous games, or even if you haven't played them, if you like Batman. Oh, another thing that I forgot to mention. The detective work where you could like rewind
the whole CSI kind of
BS.
Dude,
that was
it was BS, but it was awesome BS.
If you like Batman, he's the world's greatest detective, so it's kind of cool.
Why not give him some badass toys? And that's like that really changed how, because they kind of hinted on kind of things like that you have to do in the previous games, but this one took it to a whole new level, and it kind of makes me sad to see how they did this, and it kind of shows in later games how Batman might have just digressed a little bit in terms of the recreations of crime scenes and how you actually had to move cameras around and kind of figure it out. It was very cool.
It was cool. Okay, so cons. There was a few things. The main story we felt was a tad short. It's very, very tiny con. Main characters, as Mike felt, were kind of. I should have been in it more. Some of them were a little bit of a kind of a flyby. Some of the combat sequences I felt were like they could have been tweaked a little bit, so they were a little more rewarding.
Yeah,
but they weren't.
It was too just streamlined.
Like we
everything was streamlined.
Mike and I were talking about before. Batman's a main. His main thing is he's got a lot of gadgets, And
he's a rich asshole with a lot of toys. Let the man use his toys.
But all of the sequences were, you're just beating up people, and not a whole lot of room to really use your gadgets. I mean, you could. They had the little thing where you could disrupt the guys that had some of the venom things.
The turret guns, and you can disrupt some of the guns, and you can disrupt some of these other things.
Or you could use the bat claw to reach stuff to people. But there was a little more they could have capitalized on that.
They could have done a lot more with the toys. Let me clarify. The only reason I called Batman an asshole is because he has the toys and I don't.
Glitches. The Burnley comms tower was a huge glitch when the game first came out. Mike was actually unable to progress unless he.
I abandoned it like my children.
Unless he there was a workaround glitch that eventually did get fixed. However, there were other glitches. Particularly, the main one is one I couldn't when I got to the very end of the game where you're beating up the Joker. It would not let you quick beat him down. And if you have a controller, you can do it. But I played the game. It's now early January, and the game came out late October. That is still not fixed right now. So if you play it on the PC, you cannot get past that point unless you add a new key binding in the configurations folder.
Or you give money to Microsoft, buy an Xbox 360 controller for Windows, and you finish it.
That is ridiculous that they do not have that glitch fixed right now. Another thing to note, Masbell and I both felt that Copperhead was kind of put in there solely for a sex appeal. Now, Copperhead is traditionally male in other Batman works, and for this game they made him a female. And we felt that the reason they did that is because, like in Arkham City, you had Catwoman, you had Harley after she had already sided with the Joker, you had Poison Ivy, and there wasn't really any characters that they could exploit for that sex appeal. And so we felt that the swap was solely for the purpose of adding a sex appeal to the game that they didn't have before. So we kind of throw that in a little bit as a con. There's many more cons that we could go in depth into. But I mean, a lot of them, even ones that other other reviewers kind of brought up, I feel are very minor. I mean, there's tweaks that they could give, but all in all, the pros greatly outweigh the cons. And we both feel that Arkham Asylum and Arkham City were excellent games, and Arkham Origins really, it's up there. It's definitely a good game. So for our rating, we give it a 4.5 out of 5. Not a solid 5, just because there's things that could be tweaked. So it's not the best game out there, but it is definitely a great addition to the Arkham series. And if you loved Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, or if you just love Batman, you will definitely love this game. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this review. Hope it was something useful. Go ahead and pick up Arkham Origins if you like the previous games, or if you're just looking for a good Batman game. It is definitely worth a shot, especially since they have them on sale now. You can get it for under $30 if you wait for a good sale. So thanks for watching. I'll be posting more videos soon. And from Masbell and I and Batman, Happy New Year.